The most little toxin in every one of us is regret. Poor choices, hasty decisions have consequences for the next 20 years of your life because you made a bad decision. What drives us to make such snap decisions? You've allowed your fear of regret to motivate you to take action now. Now it doesn't matter to me how long I live any longer. What matters most to me is how I conduct my life on a daily basis. That is the question you should ask yourself. How do you live that if you are going to do something, you do it correctly? That doing the right thing is never wrong. It doesn't matter how you do anything. It doesn't matter how you do everything. The majority of us who are human have to cope with regret at some point in our lives. I'm sure you agree with me. But perhaps you regret something because of a terrible decision we made. Things that I wish I had done differently in my life or in my ministry, for example. Of course, who wouldn't want to try something new and see if they could improve on the first? Redo it to see if you can get it right. But the reality is that you will not have that opportunity. Don't let remorse get the best of you. Don't let regret enslave you. No, you should learn from it. Allow it to improve you. You are the only one who can stop you. If you allow your errors to define you, wearing labels that others slap on you will impede you from achieving your goals. You can't stop someone from putting labels on you, but you can wipe them off. My history, if they keep bringing up your past mistakes and trying to convince you to live a condemned life. My mistakes are no longer with me. My failures occurred yesterday. And guess what? Today, I'm not bringing them in life. Go off the past and look for ahead. You need to put that back where it belongs. We all have a past, but we don't have to live in it any longer. When you ask individuals what they regret, especially as they get older, they almost always say things they didn't do right. As a result, they don't have as many regrets over their blunders. People, on the other hand, clearly regret mistakes they've committed. So they don't really regret sins they've committed or mistake they've made on purpose. They beat themselves up for passing up opportunities that had offered themselves. Let's imagine you want to exploit or engage in something. The remorse, however, will feel bad about what we've done. Intent is only good for a limited time. However, the regret we feel for things we missed out on might last a lifetime, because most of us are afraid and prefer to live a comfortable life. We choose the safe way, and as a result, we begin to accumulate regrets. However, there is a solution if you are willing to take risks. Poor choices, hasty decisions have consequences for the next 20 years of your life. Because you made a bad choice, you should have just waited, gather all of your information, and settle down. You could have done better. What drives us to make such snap decisions? The fearful seasons. It takes discipline to confront your worries and overcome them. That is what discipline entails. Discipline entails traveling the difficult, uphill path to accomplish what is right, which is fraught with sorrow. It's completely useless. So take what you've learned and move on. Whatever it is that you truly desire, strive diligently to achieve it. Seek to do more than just make a livelihood. Aspire to make a difference. That was my frame of mind. And that's how you get by in life. You put yourself there. You immerse yourself in whatever it is that you become. And you leave yourself no way out. The fact that could have been the rest of my life was the scariest thing in the world to me. I believe I was putting out a valiant effort at the time. That is the most terrifying thing in the world. Allow yourself to be touched by life. Allow it to touch you rather than kill you. The ups and downs of your life, the good and bad news, the highs and lows, you can give them a piece of your spirit as a gift. It's vivid if you recall it. You can actually touch other people with the relation of your own. Relate your own experience only because you are too lazy to live the experience and then reflect on it. If it's powerful, if it's new, if it's unique, if it's vital, live another week and think about it. Take a half a day at the end of each month to reflect on the previous month. Some of the figures were not impressive. Some of them were excellent. Take a weekend. Take some time to read the books you heard about describing your experiences at the end of the month, at the end of the year. Reflecting without ease, a truly successful person is unable to achieve their objectives. You are just joking about. The difference between a goal-oriented person and someone who doesn't have any ambition is like the difference between a Wimbledon champion and a young star smacking a tennis ball around on a court with no net, no opponent to push him to his limits, and no means to keep score. Regardless of what has been said about it, the significance of setting goals, only a small percentage of people actually do it. It constantly amazes me how much more thought and effort the ordinary guy puts into planning. He'll be gone for 2 weeks, then he focuses himself to make plans for his future. From what is he taking a break? He hasn't really chosen what he wants to do with his life, but every 2 weeks he decides to do something different, and that is exactly what he tends to do. Careful challenge develops strong character, and goals are the most positive sort of difficulty. Leaders are focused on their personal ambitions as well as the organization's goals. In fact, establishing goals for the vast majority of people who are unable to do so for themselves is one of the most important roles of leadership. Be the best person you can be for the rest of your life. Personal excellence demands a great deal of dedication, discipline, and willpower. We often know what we need to do but lack the fortitude to take the risk that come with a firm trying something new. Instead, we rationalize our inaction. The beautiful thing about excuses is that they are always available to be utilized, no matter what happens. Everyone can make an excuse for anything. But the problem with excuses is that no one believes them. They will be able to tell if you are making excuses. They will think less of you as a result. However, if you refuse to make excuses, others will notice. They will respect you for it. To face all of life's fear-inducing events with courage, you will need a lot of self-discipline. For this reason, courage is justifiably regarded as the most important of the virtues. Everything else is contingent. Fear is frequently important to protect life, avoid injury, and avoid financial blunders. As you might expect, I don't believe we should spend much time regretting the decisions we've made in the past, or ruminating over how things turn out. That is a deception. What you are doing is suffering of the present under the shadow of particular memories for no reason. You are telling yourself a story about something that has probably happened before. How long would you like to do that? And life will sometimes knock you down, but just because you've been knocked down doesn't mean you've finished. No, you've been knocked down, but not knocked down. No, you have some justifications. It could be your personal sense of pride and drive, as well as the type of life you wish to live. So if everyone is frightened, what makes the courageous person different from the coward? The brave person disciplines himself to confront, to cope with, and act in spite of fear, whereas the coward allows fear to dominate and control him. The difference between a hero and a coward is that the hero keeps going. No one is born with fear if we wait 5 minutes longer. Fears can thus be unlearned by constantly practicing self-discipline in the face of fear until it vanishes. Worries of failure, poverty, and money loss are the most typical fears we have, and they often destroy our dreams for achievement. These worries force people to avoid taking any risk and to turn down opportunities when they are presented with them. I've formed some ideas regarding effective goal setting throughout the years, and I want to tell you about them. When I was younger, I used to fantasize about buying a ticket on a railroad train and simply going somewhere. I had no idea where I was heading and how long it would take me to get there. I enjoyed the concept of hopping on the train and having it take me anywhere I wanted to go. I suppose there is still something tempting about that concept, but as a mature human being, it's not the way you want to live your life. When you are older, you buy a train or plane ticket because you want to travel somewhere and know where you're going. It's possible that you will have to change flights at a different city. It's possible that your flight will be cancelled, forcing you to change flights. You may not want to chat with the person sitting next to you, but you do so anyhow You know where you are going and you are dead set on getting there. In its most basic form, this is goal-directed behavior. There are short-term and long-term objectives. Long-term objectives are akin to taking a long trip. Your life will be dramatically changed once you've achieved your long-term ambitions. And the journey to get there will make you a stronger, wiser, and higher performing person than you are now. Now, on a piece of paper or in a notebook, how can you write down your long-term objectives? Put these 5 hits at the top of the list. What I'm hoping to accomplish. The second, what do I want to be when I grow up? What is number 3? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? And number 5, where do I want to go now? Write out some prospective long-term goals under each of these areas. Be completely uncertain with it. Allow your imagination to run wide and generate 3 to 6 ideas for each area. At this point, don't sweat the small stuff and don't spend too much time articulating a specific aim in a category. For instance, what do I want to do as number 1? Assume you want to create a book about your family's history. Simply jot down family history, beginning with your great ancestors. Arrival in Africa. Then it occurs to you as you scroll down through the categories that you've always wanted to see Egypt's pyramid. So you draw pyramids and jot down thoughts. As long as the categories on the list continue to inspire you, some of the things you will find will definitely surprise you. Many ambitions and aspirations may have been hidden in the back of your mind, but the opportunity to write them down will bring them to the forefront of your mind. One of the advantages of this strategy is that once you've completed your list of long-term goals, look over it again and put the number of years you anticipate it will take you to accomplish each one beneath each item. For example, you may estimate that researching and writing a book about your family history will take you 10 years, but it will only take you 5 years to get to the point where you can visit the pyramids. Create a time scale like this for each of your long-term and immediate goals. Those that will take less than a year to complete are also crucial. We'll take care of those separately when you've completed adding some periods. You should have a reasonably even distribution of all of your objectives. If you have a lot of 1 and 3 years goals, but only a few 10-year goals, you might want to consider what you truly want your life to add up to and what type of life you really want to construct in the long run. However, if you have a lot of long-term goals and very few short-term goals, this could indicate that you are procrastinating, that you are too focused on where you will be at the end of the day and not enough on what you can do right now. Continue to work on your list, adding and removing goals with varying deadlines until you have a fairly balanced distribution. How many times have you come up with a brilliant idea? nothing was done about it. Then a year later, someone took action, made a lot of money, received a promotion, and so on. So if you get the impulse to act, it's time to act. And you don't have to know everything properly. You know, if you are not in New York, you can drive west from here to Africa or wherever you want to go. And the best part is that you don't have to complete the entire journey. At night, you only need to see 200 yards ahead of you. You may drive with your headlights on, and the headlights will follow you. And your life's ambition is to participate in the game. You don't have to. Just look at the entire blueprint. All you have to do now is look at the next steps, the next steps, and the next steps. And if you keep taking the next steps, you will finally arrive at your destination. That makes sense, right? We feel that if you are vibrating at a level of 100% anticipation, it's already a done deal. It's nothing more than a piece of cake. No big issue. We are going to win this. That contract will be awarded to us. You are going to make it happen. The universe then answers by literally responding. You are putting on a division of this should happen by this date. Why you are doing this? It's fine to set such objectives, but sometimes it takes a week, a year, whatever. But the law of attraction says that if you just maintain the expectation, like if you say, I want to be a millionaire, but I don't know anyone who would ever teach me how to do that, it will happen. Or I like to buy an automobile, but don't have the funds. Then you go on to add that it's like ordering a pizza from Domino's Pizza and then phoning him back a minute later and saying, never mind. It's as if you have to mentally make the space to hold this image that you have. And that necessitates anticipation. After that, knowing that the ideal item is on its way. Always make decisions with your heart and soul in mind. You can do much with your head. You may glance at the fine print of a contract with your intellect. When it comes to the actual feel of the decision, though, you should always look deep and compare it to your heart and soul. Here is a little test. Is the decision you've about to make going to help you increase your future or your life's possibilities? If the answer is yes, then the decision must be made, no matter how frightening it may be. Make a decision today to invest in yourself and get better, as if your future depends on it, because it identify the most important skills you have that determine the quality and quantity of results you get at work, and make a plan to improve in each one. Set excellent performance as a goal in your work, and then determine exactly what you will need to do every day to join the top 20% or better in your field. Look 3 to 5 years ahead to see what new skills and information you will need to lead your field in the future, and start learning them now. Which one skill would have the greatest impact on your earning ability if you could wave a magic wand and become absolutely excellent? Whatever answer you give, make that skill a goal. Make a plan and work on it every day. Commit yourself today to lifelong learning and never let a day go by without getting better in some area. Now comes the most important and intriguing aspect of the process. Thus far, you've only been added item to the list so far. Now it's time to start selecting choices. Now you will begin to consider what is truly important against what can be merely entertaining. Choose 4 objectives for each of the 4 time frames: 1, 3, 5, and 10 years. You now have 16 district goals, which you've just alluded to in a hurried manner thus far, but you begin to see them quite clearly in your mind's eye soon. Each goal will be visualized as though it were being accomplished right now, and you are going to jot down a comprehensive account of what you are seeing. Do you plan to create a shop selling handcrafted furniture in 3 years? What will the store's appearance be from the street? Will the windows have gold leaf lettering, or will a sign be hung over the door instead? How big will the store be in terms of square footage? Will there be a furniture store in front and a workstation in the back, or will the furniture be built somewhere else? Will you hire workers, or will you handle the company totally on your own? Consider all of the questions that need to be answered in order to see your goal clearly. Go over what you've written again and again, and most importantly, maintain track of your progress toward these goals. Setting goals is a vital beginning step, but achieving them is a lifelong effort. That is what makes it so difficult. That's also why achieving your long-term goals in terms of present objectives is so satisfying. They can take anywhere from a day to a year to complete. I propose setting a lot of goals that you can achieve in a month or less. Write them down, read them frequently, keep track of your progress, and do something every day that moves you closer to achieving these extremely short-term goals. You always have something to celebrate this way. These objectives are significant in and of themselves. They also help to promote confidence and motivate people to live a life focused on hard work and achievements. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more motivational videos. Peace out.